Hey everybody, sorry I'm late. Just a few minutes. Had to take an important phone call came in, of course, right before the stream goes live. Had to take it, had to do it, but we are here. We're ready to go. Screenshot on YouTube is bricks. Is it? I don't know. Let me look real quick. Everybody say hi in the chat. And let's see. I'm gonna go check on this real quick. Your channels live. It's the same thumbnail I always use. I think he's talking about the code in the background. I don't know. It's not that important. It's not that important. I don't think anybody actually studies the code in the thumbnail, and bothering changing thumbnails, I don't know. Okay, so how we doing today? You guys are going to be excited about this, or you should be excited about it. I mean, I don't know that you've seen anything quite like this before, what we're going to do and what we're going to go through. So buckle up. It's going to be fun. All right, let's see here. Frame rate of the cameras. Oh yeah. I feel like I fixed it. Guys. I don't know if I fixed it the right way. But it seems fixed. I fixed it by going to 60 frames per second. That's how I fixed it. And, seems to be doing fine. It does require more bandwidth, but I don't think that's a problem these days. Prompt queen away, Kevin. Yes. This is going to be interesting. So this is a guided process. Now, let me give you some background and some context. You guys know that I've always talked about establishing a professional process for website projects. How does that start? Well, I've always argued that it starts with discovery. Okay, you can't just, somebody says, hey, we need a website we're going to use a roofing company today, I think will be the example. Okay. Hey, I need a website for my roofing company. Oh, great. And I just sit down and start sketching stuff out. Is that step one? Sketching stuff out is step one? No, there's a discovery process. We need to know certain things about this company, this brand, their competitors, what their goals are, what they're trying to, what their differentiators are. Okay, what kind of narrative we're going to craft, how we want this to be approached in general. Like, you can't just start sketching and designing and building. And hell, even like sketching would actually be better than what most people do. Most people, I feel like, fire up a page builder and just start building the site. They're designing in the development process, like as the first step. That's crazy. That's wild work. Okay, we can't be doing that kind of stuff. That's outlandish. What should you be doing? You should be doing a process, and it's the same process every single project. Discovery. Then what? Copywriting discovery. So there's discovery on like business, brand, goals. There's that kind of discovery. Then there's copywriting discovery, which is what do we want to say and how are we going to say it? And you start to do a lot of that, okay? And there's a whole system to doing that. And we've talked about this before, this is a long-standing principle on WDD Live, that the copy is the most important part of the website. The design is great, it's what everybody focuses on. The development is great. We want to peep the DOM, we want to get the code clean, we want to do a good job, we want scalable, maintainable websites. But at the end of the day, it comes down to copy and offer. Like, you can do the design, knock that out of the park, knock the development out of the park. If you don't have good copy and a good offer, you're not winning. You're not going to win. So we got to have good copy. So you have to do copywriting discovery. And then we go into wireframing. And we do wireframing and copywriting at kind of the same time at that point. So because you need to start to see how copy is going to fit into some sort of layout. How do we want to present this section by section by section by section, right? Because you could copyright like Stephen King, okay? But if you end up with 30 long paragraphs of how do you map that to a website? You got to understand how the copy is going to fit into the actual layouts. And then what are you going to present along with the copy? Because we're not writing a novel. we're creating a visual presentation. And the visual presentation is going to have imagery, and how is that all going to live with the actual text that we're trying to convey? What is the ratio of text, of copy to imagery going to be? That kind of thing. Because some websites, some brands, they need to be very text heavy. Okay, you really need to make this a sales lettery, sales pitchy kind of thing. And then the images are actually going to speak to a lot of the words. They're going to replace a lot of the words, okay? Because we want more vibe, we want more feeling, more emotion. That we need to be on that side of the spectrum. All of this goes into how a website should come together. And then after you've wireframed maybe the homepage, you want to start to you don't want to get too deep into the wireframing before you figure out, okay, now how is the UI going to shape up here? What is this actually going to look like? From a high fidelity standpoint, that's very important. So I always go wireframe the homepage, get the copy in there, and then let's go right into UI with that. Okay, let's start to get creative and see how this is actually going to map to a high fidelity design. And then once you have a high fidelity design that you're really excited about, now we go back and we say, okay, let's wireframe the rest of these pages out. Now let's extend that UI to the rest of these pages. And you should be doing this, if you followed me for any length of time, in a proper design tool. So you have Figma as an option. You also now have Paper. I'm actually going to show you a paper-based workflow. I think that Paper is a better fit for this kind of thing. And you now have in Paper all of these screens. You have wireframe screens, you have high fidelity UI screens. These things are touchable, okay? It's not a situation where you have to continue to reprompt. You can actually go in there and make simple edits and make simple adjustments. And you can do that very, very easily without learning an entirely new tool, okay? Now you could continue to prompt it if you wanted to, but you can get the benefit of that visual UI where these screens live is that you can go in and just change a heading, change some text, swap some things around, change it, put one section before another section or whatever, okay? And then you also have the benefit of a V1, V2, V3 kind of situation, an ABC option. So we've talked about this, the value of this before. You wireframe out an entire homepage. You can't do this in a development environment. You wireframe out an entire homepage and you go, you know what? I want to explore a completely different direction. So I'm going to do a V2 next to that goes in a completely different direction. And maybe I even do a C option. And then when I'm in discussions with the client, we're looking at ABC. Well, you can't look at ABC in a development environment. That's not even possible. Even if it's possible to some degree, it's super messy and it's not practical. So you shouldn't be doing it. Okay, the design should happen in a design tool. We've been over this many, many, many times. Now, after the design is decided and is kind of finalized in Paper, now we get to the development aspect of it. Now we really start building, and we can build very fast, very clean, very efficient, because there's all the questions are answered. We know exactly what we're building and how it needs to come together. There's no, oh, well, they changed their mind on this. Now we got to delete that component, refactor, do none of that stuff, okay? Keep it clean, keep it efficient, keep it fast, get it done. Get it done. And of course, you can do all of this in parallel as well. If you're an agency and you have a bigger team, as soon as the UI screen is done and it's approved, it can ship off to development while more screens are being worked on. So you're doing development and design in parallel. Okay, that again only happens when you're using a proper design tool and a proper workflow. So what we need now in 2026 and beyond with this new workflow and these new tools that we have available to us is we need a system, and we need a system that is agentic. We need a system that is that guides you through all of these steps and guides the client as well. I mean, you could literally, you're gonna see the way that I do this. You could sit with your client right next to you and actually walk through it with them. Get the words right out of their mouth to the phases of this process. And they would gain a lot of insight in doing this with you, perhaps. And they're gonna be very impressed by it, I think. There's a lot to like about this. There's a lot to like about this. And you're gonna end up with a better result. And the point is, We want to be agentic, but we don't want to just turn our life over, as I've said many, many times before, to vibe coding, just willy-nilly vibe code slop all over the fucking internet. Okay, that's not that's not what we want to be doing with our life. So this is a way to use an agentic workflow, use modern tooling, work in a new way with guardrails, with guidance, with anti-slop checkpoints, if you will. And so that's what we're gonna take a look at today, okay? So I'm gonna do one thing over here on my screen. I'm gonna pull up Grok. Now, we're not gonna use Grok for anything other than, oh, by the way, you're gonna see how this all, of course, fits into the an agentic etch workflow using external tools, using like the etch connector, for example, okay? And I will say this, I'm not selling you anything today. You can NPX this into existence for free, 100% for free, okay? All it's gonna cost you is your tokens that you're already paying for. You're just not gonna produce slop, you're gonna produce something nice. And then this will provide the training that you are hoping for the etch connector, for automatic CSS, but it comes with a lot of other benefits well, you're gonna see. So the reason I'm pulling up Grok here, and I know I'm not sharing yet, okay, is Grok is gonna be our client today. I don't wanna sit here and have to play both sides of this coin. So I'm gonna instruct Grok that you are the owner of a new roofing company in Miami, Florida. And it's a high-end roofing company, and you guys only work on million-plus properties. And so I've already kind of fabricated the business. Grok is going to be the owner of that business. So as we go through the discovery process and the questions, I'm gonna be asking these to Grok, who is the owner. And the owner is going to reply to me, and I am going to take those replies and feed them into this process. Okay, so I don't have to play owner at the same time that I'm also trying to play marketer, developer, designer guy, okay? Let me go to a quick Q&A before we get started, okay? Actually, I'll do that in a second. Let me instruct Grok. I'll show you guys what's going on here, okay? You are the owner of a new roofing company in Miami, Florida. You have 20 years of experience in the roofing industry, but this is a brand new business. This is the first time that you are going into business for yourself. So you have a lot of trust, you have a lot of people that know you, but this is the first time you're actually starting a business. And it's gonna be called Miami Roofing. And I'm gonna be walking you through a discovery process. I'm gonna be asking you questions, and I want you to respond to those questions based on this business that you are wanting to build. Again, you are working on high-end homes, only $1 million plus homes, high-end roofs. This is the context that you are gonna answer these questions from. Okay, so I'm gonna give that to Grok. Now, I'm going to pull up and we're gonna do this piece by piece. Now, I will say this is still in progress, okay? This isn't, I've done a few test projects with it. It's still being tweaked and honed in and worked on. It may not be 1,000% seamless. We may get stuck here or there. I don't know. I don't know how things are gonna go. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, okay? I'm just showing you my line of thinking for how projects should probably be approached in 2026. And we're just gonna take a look at it. Now, before we do this, let's go ahead and let's look at some chat here. Let's check the chat. Somebody said architecture different. Okay, there's a lot of random chat messages in here. Let's see. Very clear and straightforward explanation. Okay, good. I will get to questions, but you have to hashtag queue them. Can't wait to see more of paper, says Nick. Got my hands on paper a few days ago too. They are on a good way. Some of y'all need to, I can't tell if I'm having a stroke or if y'all don't know how to type. Make sure you formulate good chat messages here. I'll definitely be trying paper in my next project. Need to give it a try. Okay, fantastic. I'm glad people are hype on paper. I've yet to use any design tools out of Photoshop so far. All right. Well, you're in for a treat here. You're in for a treat. All right. Yeah, when I say $1 million, I'm not saying $1 million plus roofs. I'm saying like, you know, that's the value of the home, $1 million plus. Okay. All right. So like Grok seems set up here. So what we're going to do is I am going to, what do I have pulled up here in cursor? I'm going to go new window. I do have two screens. So if I'm looking over here to the left, I am looking at a different screen. Okay. I am going to go open project, and I'm going to go down to projects, new folder, and I'm going to say Miami roofing, and I'm going to create this. So I am using cursor. I want to be very clear. You can use any IDE, any harness that is capable of this generalized workflow, okay? And notice that I have a blank, this is literally a blank folder. There is nothing in it. So you're gonna see the from scratch process of how this works, okay? What you're going to need primarily is the agent. And if you're using your own harness, your own IDE, you get to choose the agent. I would choose one of the higher end models. I think this part of the process is the most important part of the process, okay? Invest some tokens into this. Don't use the cheapest model, the quickest model, this is time, like this is gonna take some time. Okay, you can't get trapped in the, oh, AI means you can one shot some brilliant shit into existence. That's always been a fairy tale. That has always been a fairy tale. Don't get caught up in that. It's still work. It still takes ingenuity. It still takes expertise. Now, a client could actually use this, but again, you're gonna see, I'm gonna have to analyze some of the stuff that gets returned back. And I have to analyze that with an expert's cap on. I can't analyze it as a layperson and still get the same results. You've got to steer the ship still. Somebody's got to be there who knows what's going on to steer the ship, okay? But choose a good model. I'm gonna use Opus 4.8 for this, okay? And we are going to NPX. I'm gonna grab. Let me grab this on a different screen. I think it's easy to remember. NPX Geary Co. Agentic Web Design. I think that's gonna be our command, okay? We're just gonna put that in chat. We're gonna see what happens right here. We're all waiting for new PB 101 videos, but Kevin is silent. I'll do a video about the PB 101 situation hopefully this week. Okay, so notice what it just did. I had a blank folder. I wrote one little line right here, okay? And I now have this doc called Agent Docs, and I now have a doc called Discovery. Okay, and we can read right here, and I'm gonna open this for us, okay? Get it nice and big so you guys can actually read with me, okay? And it says, next step, every project starts with guided discovery interview. Just say start discovery, and I'll load the discovery playbook and walk you through, okay? And so we're starting a new project. This is Miami Roofing, this is my folder, and I'm gonna say start discovery. Okay, now, I've crafted this experience for you, not just the training for Etch and the training for automatic CSS, but this entire experience, okay? And this is how I would recommend you start every project. You pop a folder open, you pop your agent open, and you do exactly what I'm doing right here, okay? So it's loading the discovery brief. Now, as you go through this interview and as you answer these questions, it's actually going to author a bunch of files for you, a brief file. This brief file contains everything that other agents would need to work on this project, right? Along with their docs that come from agent training. And then it's also going to author copywriting files for every single page. So when you're done with the homepage, you're gonna have a single copywriting file that's dedicated to the homepage. Here is the homepage copy, right? No wireframe, just the copy that we're gonna put on the homepage. And every page is gonna have its own copy file. And then you can take these individual files and iterate on them if you want, and focus on them and hone in on them and make them better and better and better. It all depends on how deep you wanna go with every single project. What's the budget? What's the client expectation? Okay, that's how deep you wanna go, how much time you wanna spend on this stuff. So it says, let's start with the essentials. What's the project in one sentence, okay? Why now? Now remember, we have, and I'm gonna do this real quick, okay? Can I grab this? Can I grab you? Okay, let's go right here. And let me kill this real quick. I wanna kill, okay. I want to kill my messages in the back there. All right. So you can see side by side. How can I do this? Let's go and let's make this bigger. Okay, good. I still don't know how to get rid of this. I'm sure there's a way to do this in View where you can get rid of this pane right here that's waiting on a file to show up. But here we go. I've got my client on the right. I've got my agent on the left, okay? So I am going to just paste these questions in and we are gonna get the responses from the client. Remember, your Grok is not normally your client. You would be getting this information from your actual client, which is why I said having them actually like sit right next to you or be on a Zoom call or whatever. Like that could be very, very beneficial. Not to mention, you get paid for this part. Okay, hey, we're gonna schedule an interview call. That interview call got priced out in the package that you sold them. Okay, there is a discovery process. It costs X, Y, Z. You're getting paid to guide them through this. Okay. All right, so let me get the rest of phase one. What's the one thing the site must achieve? Okay, what does the site need to make a visitor feel or believe? And one more, you said premium from day one. Okay, so I am going to paste those in. We're gonna get these answers from the client, okay? All right, so, and notice Grok's good at like, hey, they numbered the questions, I'm gonna number the answers. And we can see right here, like the one thing the site must achieve is to attract and convert the right kind of client. High-end homeowners, architects, and custom builders who are already looking for premium roofing work on 1 million plus properties, not traffic, not leads in general, the right leads. So Grok knows what's up from a client perspective, okay? So I'm gonna feed this in. We're just gonna keep walking through all the phases of this, okay? All right, good. So now it says, let me lock phase one into the brief. So remember, there's a brief file, a project brief file right here. It's authoring the brief based on the interview questions, okay? It's creating a brief for the entire project. All right, here we go. Phase 2 of 7, business and offer. So I'm gonna copy these. Let me make sure I get my ones in there. Okay, good. Perfect. All right. So it's asking, what does Miami Roofing actually do? In the words of a wealthy homeowner, not industry jargon. How does the money work? And is pricing shown or quoted? What's the exact next step you want a qualifying visitor to take? All right. So I'm going to say, these are the answers. Bam. While that's thinking, right? We can say, in plain language, a wealthy homeowner would actually use. We install and replace roofs on high-end homes in Miami, the kind of properties where the roof is a major architectural feature and needs to look as good as it performs. That includes full roof replacements on existing luxury homes and new roof installations on custom builds and renovated. Okay, so you see parts of Grok's answering here, okay? Good, good, good. That's the right call. Okay, quick thing to close out phase 2. Define a good lead versus a bad lead in concrete terms. And then on the form's qualifying questions, you mentioned approximate home value. Are you comfortable asking home value directly? Okay, so we're getting some good pressing questions here from our interviewer. And this is how good discovery should go, right? Okay, here's how I actually see it in real terms. By the way, your client is not gonna be as good as Grok. And this is why you're gonna get paid to do this. You're gonna have to coach your client a little bit on how to answer these questions. Grok is like the expert client, okay? Your clients are gonna be dumb. Like a lot of them are gonna be, they're not gonna know their business very well. I just put roofs up. That's what, I mean, we're just good at roofing. Like that's the kind of nonsense you're gonna have to coach them into valuable answers, okay? And that's why you get paid the big bucks. That's why somebody that's an expert still needs to be sitting here. Now, this discovery process is trained if it gets answers like that are just generic and don't really have any substance to them. It's trained to push back. It's trained to keep pressing you, okay? It's not pressing me very much because Grok's doing a really good job of giving answers, but it will press you. So now we're on to phase 3 of 7, audience and customer, okay? So I am going to grab these 3 questions and we're gonna feed that to our client. Let's see, no client I've ever met could answer the first sentence. That's up to us to answer. I don't know which first sentence you're talking about. Let's see, hey Marcus, how's it going? Okay, by the way, while you're waiting, while we're doing this, toss up some likes on the stream. You got nothing else to do, okay, while you wait. And, you know, it's free. It's all this value is free. I'm giving you this tool for free. So, you know, you got to pay with something. All right, good. So these are more good answers. Look at Grok just fabricating shit out of thin air. One of the best clients I ever worked with was a woman named Elena. She and her husband had just finished a 2-year gut renovation on a waterfront Mediterranean estate in Coconut Grove. The house was probably $4.5 to $5 million. They'd imported limestone floors, custom millwork, and she was in her mid-50s. This legit, though, is like, you've got to pull this kind of stuff out from your client, because these kinds of examples, the kind of messaging that's hidden in here, this is all stuff that gets translated into good copy. This is where good copy comes from. It doesn't come from a copywriter fucking sitting around brainstorming shit like a fiction author, okay? I've always told you, the best marketing is nonfiction. Nonfiction. If you're trying to be a fiction author for your client because they haven't said anything fucking worth anything, no value in what they're telling you, you've got to become a fiction author now. The best marketing is just nonfiction. It's just write a documentary on the shit. It's, oh, what an amazing business that does amazing work for amazing people. Just write a documentary on that, and that's good copy. You don't have to be a fiction author. If you're working too hard to write copy, you're probably trying to make shit up, because making shit up is hard. If you're just talking facts and those facts sell shit, that's easy. Copywriters got an easy job. Okay, let's go. 2 more to round out the audience, and we'll move on. All right, good. Let's put those last 2 in there. Yep. See, Crockett knows what's up. Okay, this is the reason those who know their stuff will still make a difference. Okay, is the NPX package and brief from the interview, is that available somewhere? All you do is, anybody could do that right now. You don't do it right now, because I need you to focus. I need you to pay attention. I need you to understand the process. But literally after this stream is done, you can pull up Cursor, NPX that same line into your project, and this exact same thing will happen. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. I'm not selling you anything. This is available to you right now. All right, so I'm going to copy this. Good. I'm going to paste this in. Let's see here. Client, I don't know, surprise me. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't let them do that to you. You got to tell them, look, I can't do my job. If that's how you're going to answer the questions, I can't. You're going to get some basic bitch shit, and then you're going to blame me. So I got to stop you right here. Like, I need more substance from you. We've got to drill down, and we got to find more substance. So what's it doing now? It's updating the brief. Okay. Don't do it right now. I know some people are asking for the NPX command right now. Look, that'll all be, you can do all that right after the stream is over, okay? Do it on your first project, your next project, you can do it. Just stay with me right now so we can see how all this comes together. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. We are on step 4 of 7. If you did this with a real client, you'd probably be here for 2 hours. This would take about 2 hours. But you're billing for that, okay? When I did discovery packages, I was saying at minimum $1,250, okay? $1,250 minimum for discovery process. A lot of that is this part, okay? You're getting paid to do this. Okay, so let's go back up. All right, so it's giving competitors, all right? And I like Grok because I don't have to do this work, right? I don't have to go find some roofing company examples. Like, Grok can go to the internet. Grok can find what he likes, doesn't like, and just spit it right back like a real client would, you know? And good clients are going to know who their competitors are, who their good competitors are, who their bad competitors are. They're obviously going to know sites that they like and don't like, okay? All right, so, okay. Let me capture this, then 2 quick questions. Okay, so it's editing the brief, and then it's going to come back with some questions to follow up. What's the do-nothing alternative for someone like Elena? My read, it's not a competitor at all. It's delay. She keeps patching leaks and putting off the full replacement for another year or two because the risk of the wrong crew feels worse than the slow leak. Is that the real alternative you're fighting? Or do these homeowners also seriously consider just going with whoever their general contractor renovation team recommends? Language, what category words is this market at? Look, we're going deep right here. We're going deep right here. That's what this process is designed to do. Let's see. So many people skip discovery process. I feel sorry for them later. Yeah, you can't do good work. You can't do good work without proper discovery. Just point blank. Point blank. Let's feed these answers back. Okay. Feel free to throw some stuff in the chat because we have a lot of little, waiting points where I got to wait on the next step. And, we could be interacting in the chat while we do this. Plus, it lets me know you're not just working off to the side, not, I know some of y'all want to lend an ear to the stream, but you're not really locked in. I need y'all to lock in because this is super important. This literally can become the entire process of your agency freelance work. And I guarantee you're going to have better, it's never been easier to do discovery. It's never been easier to get through the wireframing phase. It's never been easier to get through the UI design phase, okay? Let's see here. Pages and site structure. Okay, now we turn all of this into an actual map, given everything, right? Here's the page list I'd recommend as a starting point. Tell me what's right, wrong, or missing, and here's a few questions. I am gonna copy all of this and feed this to Grok, okay? See, Tricky knows what's up. Tricky knows what's up. Yeah, Plants Realm says they see the discovery process unnecessary because they think they know everything about their business and websites and then realize the opposite. That's actually, you want them to have, so you get them to agree to it. And sometimes I will say, okay, look, don't sign on to this $15,000 project. I get it, it's a lot. How about we do this? How about we just do the discovery phase? Because this is critical. By the way, what's produced by discovery, even if you don't choose me to do your website, you could take what we produce in discovery and hand that file to any other vendor that you go with, right? So you have something tangible to show, not just in files and documents and plans and things like that, but in the insights that you're gonna get yourself in the process. And so it's $1,500. Don't worry about the 15,000. It's $1,500. It's gonna take 2 weeks, and you're gonna have something super tangible and a ton of value at the end of it. And you can take that and hand it to anybody if you don't wanna work with me. And it gives us a chance to see how we work together. Okay, and so many clients will go, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Let's do that instead. So they're not ready to sign a contract for $15,000 for the entire thing. They are ready to put up $1,500 and see what comes out of it, okay? You take them through. During this process, okay, they are gonna realize, oh shit, they're asking me questions that I didn't really ever think about, okay? And we're starting to put some of this stuff, and they can see the value being produced in real time coming out of this that they're gonna be able to take into their business, not just into their website. They can literally take it back to their sales team. Hey guys, here's what you need to be talking about on the phone versus this other shit you've been rambling about, okay? It has value in so many other areas of their business. All right, let's keep going. So what actually exists right now, blah, 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 what I'd adjust. Okay, overall feedback on the structure. Yeah, okay, great. Fantastic. All right, put that in. Edge helped me bring our new released products, 7 of them, to a new level, 50,000 sales in just 2.5 weeks? I love it. I love it. Let's see here. Are you using a paid paper plan? I believe I am. I don't know. I think so. Definitely not working on stuff watching this. Nice. Justin's locked in. Discovery is not free, says Digital Algorithms. That is correct. Okay, we're moving on to 6 of 7, guys. Don't worry, you're gonna see stuff manifest here. Again, I don't think you've seen a process like this, okay? So I'm gonna copy this, feed that to our client. As Kevin is illustrating, this process is a service to the client way beyond the website. It's looking at their entire business and getting them to improve not just marketing, but their core. Absolutely, 100%. Hook them in and show them your value. Makes sense. All right, here's my direct take. 3 concrete voice words. Exacting. This is the core of how I operate. I notice the small things that most crews overlook. How tile meets flashing, how the crew protects finished floors, how the job site looks at the end of the day. Discerning, we're selective about the work we take, the standards we hold, who we bring onto a job. Unhurried, God, this is a fucking fantastic client right here. This is a dream client, Grok. Grok is a dream client. Okay, so here we go. Let's feed that in. What if what you're doing now has already been done? If they can show me that it's already been done to the proper extent, then we can skip this part. You could literally just feed what's been done into this process. And not in the form of answers to these questions like I'm doing now. You could simply create your own brief file or take all the documentation that exists, feed it into Opus and say, make a project brief out of this, okay? Based on the rules that are in this project. And it'll still create the brief for you. And then you move on to the next phase, which I'm gonna show you in just a second. Okay, phase 6, recap. All right, questions. How should we treat the Miami Roofing name? Is generic. All right, let me copy this. It's generic, it works against the premium exclusive positioning. I wanna know how locked in it is. Look at this, it's pushing back on like, dog, did you know you got a super generic ass name? Okay, hey, you stop being the client. Go back to being the client. Yeah, you did slip out of character there. Shape up, Grok, lock in. Okay, Okay. That's too much for the premium side. You're trying to build. Doesn't sound any different from volume. Okay. I'm not married to it. Here's where my head is at. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do with this. Let's put that in. But the wireframing has not. The copy has been written, but nothing inside cursor. That's what I'm saying. You could take the discovery and plug it into this exact same process. You'll see how it would work in just a second. Okay. Change it now. Yeah. See, it's having a conversation like we would be having. Like, hey, you probably need to change that name. Now, for the sake of this being a generic project, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, it's saying, you know what, we should finish discovery and then run a focused 20-minute naming exercise as the first task off the brief. I mean, that's crazy, right? All right, that's good. I like that. All right, let's move on to proof and assets. That's fine. We're actually not going to change the name because this is, the whole point was, this is an obvious demo. Okay, visual assets. Okay, hard constraints, claims to avoid. Okay, SEO, secondary priority. Okay. Look at this. Stop asking me this. You're the client. Okay, all right, let me go back up and get this. Copy. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, okay. Holy smokes, Grok. Grok is out of control. Grok has forgot his whole, good thing we're almost done, you know? Keep answering as the client. Maybe there's some follow-up questions here. Capturing phase 7, editing the brief. Now let me write the synthesis, add the remaining research task, set the brief status. And I will show you guys the brief, so discovery, brief. So here's the brief right here, okay? So it's categorized, it's bulleted, it's got good, it's got bad, it's got like, this is Gold right here. This is what I'm telling you is a tangible production that it can be handed over. Look at the detail in here. That can be handed over to anybody. Another agent, another agency, okay? All right. Okay. 2 questions, 4 on mark, discovery complete. Where are we at? Miami roofing. Okay. Okay. Lead messaging. I recommend open the emotional truth. You're not afraid of replacing the roof. You're afraid of who will have to let you in. Okay. Then resolving exclusively the biggest risk. Okay. 2 things. Do you actually hold the line? The positioning only works if you keep turning away the 400,000 leads, but you have to honor the filter. Okay. Great, great, great. Does this brief actually capture your business? Yeah. Yes, approved. Let's move on. Okay. Grok should be retired. It's fallen out of the AI. I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, if you're using free Grok, yeah. Like if you're using the actual paid expert model, it's very good actually. Probably ran out of context memory, so it's starting to purge old convo. Yeah, I think you're right. That's what's good about Cursor. You can keep an eye on your context usage down here. Discovery is complete for the workflow. Step 2 is copywriting, but the brief's top open item is the name, and it touches every headline, the logo, and the domain. Okay. We're going to stick with the name. Go ahead and proceed to copywriting phase. Let's see. It's lost in space. Yes. The good news is we don't really need Grok much anymore. I can now kind of become the client from this point forward. The hard stuff is like, what are your 3 competitors? What are their websites? What do you like? What don't you like? I'm not creative enough to answer all that on the fly really fast, like to save time. We don't want the stream to be 6 hours. We got through the hard part. All right, let's see. Exploring copywriting MD. Now, remember, when it goes on to, it's using skills that I have given it, okay? That I've plugged in specific guardrails and guidelines that we're going to do this and not this. We're going to do this and not this, all right? So it is doing the homepage copy, draft V1. And I'm gonna stop it, and I'm gonna say, you need to be writing this to files in a copy in a copy folder. Okay, so the last few tests that I've run, it automatically made the copy folder and started creating the files. It for some reason didn't do it this time. So I'm just gonna pause it and ask it to do that because we want everything in file form. We want a record of all of this. That's the whole point. Because we're gonna need multiple agents to work on this project, and you need to be able to feed agents specific things. Like, hey, here's the homepage copy. So I take the homepage copy file and I get a new agent with brand new context, and I say, I wanna improve this homepage copy. And now we're working through, but it can go in and it can see the brief. It can see all the other information, okay? And we can start fresh on any specific piece of this and really hone in and dial in and make things better. Okay, so it's gonna create the copy folder. It's going to start with the home page. So there's the copy folder just appeared, and you see home.md. So every page will have its own copy file now. Understanding a business without actually understanding the business. Do you even read the brief and client comments afterwards? What if you need the client in person and he asks you questions? We just talked about this. You should be doing this with the client. I'm doing this as a demo with Grok. You should be doing it with your real actual client. And you should be guiding them through it. You should be coaching them through it because they're gonna need that. Okay, homepage copy is written to home.md. I wanna kick a quick calibration check. Now, what I'm gonna do here is, look, I'm not good at reading copy in a file like this. I really need to see it in a wireframe so I can visually see how the messaging will take shape within the layout, okay? I want you to now proceed to wireframing the homepage. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up paper, and I'm gonna show you what the next step is, okay? So this is paper, and I'm gonna go new file, and I'm gonna call this Miami Roofing, and I'm gonna call this page wireframes, okay? And I'm gonna bring this back into this panel right here, okay? We'll hide this, we don't really need it right now. We'll bring this out, okay? I have paper open, and I'm on the wireframe page, wireframes page, okay? I'm gonna send that. So paper is, I'll just explain this for everybody who's not up to speed on how this works. Paper has an MCP that is connected to Cursor. Cursor is connected to paper. So Cursor can actually go in and use the paper interface to work inside of paper. And so it's gonna check for the paper server right now. And now remember what it's going to do off of the rules that are already predefined and the guidelines and the skills that are defined inside of the project. Okay, let's see. Digital Algorithm says, I love Grok. Okay, I've loaded the design. One blocker, the paper MCP server is currently erroring on Cursor side. Okay, let's go to preferences. Probably because I closed paper. I don't know, you have to do something else. Cursor settings. Okay. General VS Code agents, tab, models, cloud, plugins, rules, tools and MCPs, paper error, reset, 31 tools enabled. Do you have access now? Okay, let's see. Okay, paper server's connected now. All the tools are available. I need to load the full guide first, then get context on your file. Okay, and let's check our, let's go back. Let's get out of Cursor settings here. Okay, so our context usage is still fairly low. If your context usage starts to get high, I would recommend saying, okay, I need to continue in a new context window. Give me a prompt to continue what we're working on. And it will give you a prompt. You take that, you paste it in a new chat, and it will start fresh. Okay, so paper guide connected, guide loaded. I'm seeing your empty wireframes page. This is wireframing, not UI design, so I'm intentionally keeping this low fidelity, grayscale, structural, real copy in place. So we evaluate messaging and layout, not, okay, so it knows exactly what we're supposed to be doing. It's looking for a font family that is not very opinionated because wireframes don't really have much design aesthetic to them. But these are gonna be the best wireframes you've ever seen. And for sure, if you spent time doing these by hand, you would spend a tremendous amount of time on them. Okay, so it's gonna use Helvetica New. And you see now, look what's happening in Cursor over here on the right-hand side. Where we are just going to start to see a wireframe come to life. So it's creating the artboard, building the top navigation first. Does Figma connect to Cursor the same way? Yes, it does. But Figma, so paper is based on real HTML and CSS. Figma is not. So Figma has a weird translation layer between what's produced and development. And paper does not have that problem. So what paper is doing right now is literal HTML and CSS. And so you're gonna see a wireframe for this site really come to life right here. Just like you're just chilling. I would literally be playing chess right now, right? While I do this. I'm gonna sit here with you guys and watch, but I would be playing chess at this point. or working on another project, but I feel like if I work on too much at the same time, I'd rather play chess. It's like my head will explode. Now, remember, I'm going to show you one of the benefits and like the value of doing this process in paper versus like having it actually build something and code something. And as you're watching it come to life, you can start taking notes. Like, okay, what do I like about what's happening here? What do I not like about what's happening here? You can identify specific nodes in paper to work on, which I'll show you in just a second if we get to something like that. Now, again, I don't want this. We're already almost an hour in. Now, in less than an hour, because I shot the shit for 10 minutes, right, before we even started. So like I would say in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes max, we did an entire $1,250 like discovery process with the client, right? Okay. Now that is going to take longer with a real client, but you see like how hyper efficient this actually is at the end of the day. Let's see. Is paper a viable, complete replacement to Figma, or do they both deserve to be in the process? I don't know that I'm qualified to answer that. I use paper very minimally. So the reason I want it in paper is because I want to separate design and development, and I want to be able to easily click on things and change text and move things around and not have to re-prompt for that kind of stuff. But I think a real designer might tell you they still want to work in Figma. I don't know. But it also depends on your workflow and what you're like. Are you replacing designers? Because the majority of your projects, this is good enough. You don't need a high-end designer to work on your stuff. Then I don't think you need Figma anymore. I think that would be up to whoever is going to be doing the actual high-fidelity design work on your team. I think it's up to them. Just to be clear, the NPX or whatever you started with will include the rules. Is that where the rules? Yeah. That's how that literally that command does everything. You do that one command and you're fucking off to the races. Okay. You don't need anything else. Suggestion: in your rules, add in to remove sentences like it's not this, it's this. AI loves these types of sentences, and you can see it in every section here. Yeah, for sure. It's still being honed in. I lost some bits at the beginning. Okay, I don't know. Just to be clear, the end. Okay, we did that. So Nick says paper's not a replacement as of yet. It's amazing for having agents play around and create many iterations. Yeah. But what I have found is that once I get, if you're not going to take over as the designer, then you can continue to iterate inside of paper to the point where it's good enough. Okay. So it appears, let's go down here. All sections are placed. Let me switch the artboard to fit content height so nothing clips, then take a full page screenshot to review. So it's going to kind of finish up here. It's for the most part, it's done. I'm going to tell you exactly what I would say next. I like a lot of stuff that it did. Like I like this big featured quote that's underlined by some talking points. I really like that. I like what's going on in this section right here where like this is a good start of a portfolio. I can imagine this being a carousel, interactive and such. Like I want to tell it that needs to kind of go full bleed over here. See, I can just grab things and move it and such. And I could go in and like duplicate this and like I don't need to re-prompt for that necessarily, right? So I can go in and just kind of take over this. And I don't even know, I'm not that good at paper to know how to make it overflow, but like that's probably enough to get the point across. I'll ask it to do that. How about that? I'll bring this back into where it was, and maybe I'll take this one out, and I'll tell it to make this node full bleed. So we'll do that okay, so it says, does this layout make the messaging land the way you hoped? Anything feel off? Okay, Da 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 da. All right, let's just quickly review here. I still don't know on Mac how to drag the divider between the windows. I don't even know if you can. Do I have to hold Option Alt or something? What's the fucking secret handshake here? Okay, never mind. All right, so I like the hero. I think the hero, because it's gonna have a background image. I think that's gonna work well. This section, so I'm gonna just hit Command C. If I hit Command C and then paste, you're gonna see it paste a node ID. So I'm gonna paste that node. I'm gonna paste this node. I'm gonna paste this node. And I'm gonna paste, I assume that would have another background image in it, but I don't see one. I don't see where it says there's a placeholder there. So I'm gonna paste that node. And then I'm gonna say, okay, I think this is a great start. However, in this industry, pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think a lot of these sections are very text heavy. Oh, shit. What happened? Okay. Did it send it? I don't know what it's doing. Oh, that went to a new agent. Okay. Are very text heavy. I think a lot of these sections are very text heavy and we need more photography. Okay. Think about storytelling the way National Geographic does it, right? Lots of high quality imagery, create the vibe and feel and effect, and the text is supporting content, okay? I want you to reimagine this in a V2 next to V1. All right. So this is the real benefit of paper. Whereas if we had developed that, there would be a shitload of code in our project already, potentially even components and all this other shit going on, right? I don't want that mess. I want to look at a V2 now. Let's look at an alternative, and let's not mess up the project with real code going on. So it says, let me create a V2 artboard beside V1. I do have Whisper. You know, like sometimes I feel like I can talk to it, and sometimes I'm like, I gotta think as I type, you know? It's kind of awkward to sit there and like ramble into it. Now the V2 hero. Okay, so if we see, look at this. Look what's appearing right next to V1 is homepage V2. Can I select the whole page? What about animation? Does that convert to? Yeah, you can select the whole page. Is don't be a basic bitch still producing the goods? Yeah. I mean, in a lot, like that's a great prompt. It's a great reply prompt. I think AI does, you know, it's not alive. It's not actually intelligent, but I think it's programmed to take shit personally. So if you just dog it, like, you know, you just really tell it, it's doing a shit ass job. Like it does kind of lock in. It does lock in a little bit. And it'll go into new territories you didn't expect. It'll elevate itself, okay? But you gotta really talk to it. You know what I'm saying? Look what we're getting now. Now we're starting to get a little bit more exploration of different kind of layouts and ways to tell this story. And let's just see what it comes up with, right? And I might let you guys decide on like what nodes are we gonna keep, what nodes are we gonna ditch, what do we don't like, what do we not like, you know? All right, let's see. Paper can definitely shorten the gap between mock-up and implementation. Yep. Tricky Shot says this is incredibly clever. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is the way we really need to be working these days. Can I connect to my website and ask Paper to recreate my pages to make design modifications there. I don't know. What about Claude Design versus Paper versus Figma? Claude Design is very good, but the interface and all that is a fucking nightmare. But you will see me how I might show you how I use Claude Design. It's part of this process, but it's not it's not a seamless part of the process. Okay, let's see what it's got going on here. Like, I feel like this is much more, this is a more modern look. Like, this is probably, do you guys agree V2 is probably the way to go versus V1? Are we all in agreement on that? That V2 is probably the way to go. I want to be very clear about this. I could spend way more time. This is a demo stream. I could spend way more time reprompting, going deeper, going harder in the paint, okay, on all these different, but I want to get to the remaining phases, okay? We got to high fidelity something. We've got to develop something, okay? Think about how much time we have left in the stream. Like, are we good to move on with V2? Do we feel like V2 is a better layout? Okay. Let's see. Claude Design was vibe code 100%. Yeah, it was for sure. Okay. Yeah, I think I would actually like a little bit maybe of a mix of V2 and V1. But again, because of stream time and people's level of attention and patience and all of that, I'm not sure that we can continue down this path of like refining and prompting and That's what you should do. Let me be clear. That's what you get paid to do. That's still your job. But for stream limitations, I don't think we can continue pushing all that much. Okay, let's look at what's here. You didn't spend 2 years perfecting this house to hand it to whoever answers the phone first. Okay, it's not awful. It's not. I don't hate it. We only work on high-end homes. The difference shows up in the details, no one photographs. Okay, I actually think that's a great start to this section. Every job is run personally, protected like it's finished because it is. I don't know what the fuck that means. We would look like, you could copy any of these nodes. Actually, I thought that would copy the node. What if can I copy the link? Is that the node? You know, this heading sucks. Like, for real. What were you thinking when you wrote this? Okay, now this is the kind of thing where I'm telling you, if you dog it a little bit, okay, you can get some extra out of it. All right. We move at the pace good work takes. I actually really like that headline. We move at the pace good work takes, which is kind of telling them like, look, we're not going to rush job this. Okay. And again, we're looking at two different things at the same time. We're looking at layout in a wireframe. We're also trying to look at copy. We don't have in this stream a ton of time to go deep on either one. I do want to reiterate, that is your job. Okay, that's what you should be doing. You should be taking that time. You should be taking that extra attention, that extra effort. Okay. That's not a better heading, but okay. So we would have to come back to that. We would have to retool that for sure. I like this section right here. I think this is good for a, okay, let me give you a good example of a quick tweak, okay? So I actually prefer the carousel, the full bleed carousel. So I actually prefer, I'm gonna copy this node, verse blank, okay? Put, I'll say replace. Replace, make the swap in V2. But I want the carousel of projects to go full bleed, okay? Let's just see, I'm gonna give you an example of like a granular adjustment to what we're seeing here. If Skynet one day becomes a reality, you better watch your back. Yeah, dude, if Skydive becomes a reality, I'm screwed. You're not gonna see me on the back of a motorcycle fucking going down a California, what are those things? We'll just call it a gutter. A fucking California gutter, shooting at the Terminator off of the back of a motor. That's not me, dog, okay? I have already given up. I am already deceased. I've accepted reality for what it is. We're not doing that. We're not playing that game. Okay, let's see if it can go ahead and replace. Now, I'm getting high on context here. So at this point, I would probably switch to a new agent. That carousel must be built with the Slider Pro. I think you're right. I think you're right. Little plug there, okay? Little plug. Shameless plug from Kraka. He's got a new carousel product coming out. Looks pretty dope. Okay, look, it's doing a full bleed carousel right here, guys. And it replaced the section I didn't like that much. Felt like a basic bitch section. I wanted a carousel. I wanted something a little more dynamic, something with a little more life to it, right? A little bit more modern. Okay. All right. It didn't finish it. I don't know what's up here. It's on. I don't know if it's unionized at this point or what's going on. I can finish it though. Okay. Just do that. It's not perfect. Well, why don't those have a gap in them? What do we got going on here? I don't know. I don't know enough about paper here. That's a 0 gap. That's why. Okay, let's just do this. And can you drag? You should be able to drag the gaps, right? Let's just do that. Let's just do that. There we go. There we go, boys. Okay. No. You're good. You're good. You're good. All right. I need a new context window. Write me a prompt to. Actually, you know what? We're good. We're good. I'm just gonna say new agent. Okay. All right. So I want to move on to UI design. All right. We're gonna speed this up so we can move on. So I'm gonna create a new page called High Fidelity. All right, perfect. And I've got a new agent here, and I'm gonna say, okay, I'm working on this project. We are in the UI design phase for the home page. I want you to. I'm actually just gonna make this easier on myself. Can I zoom out? Okay, let's grab the whole homepage V2. I want you to reference this node and create a high fidelity version of it in the high fidelity page in paper, okay? Check the brief. And your design skills, instructions. We'll say instructions. Okay. So I'm just gonna feed this to a new agent real quick, and we'll see if it can pick up where we left off. A new agent is just a new screen, not a different agent. No, it's like every agent is a brand new person. You got to think of every agent as like a brand new person. Now, because I have this chat open in Cursor, I believe it can reference this chat as well. But you got to treat it like a new moron. It's the new guy. The new guy just showed up for day one of work. Okay, you gotta get him up to speed a little bit. Okay. Okay, so he's checking the node. You only need the ACSS skill on the build side. Just tell the build prompt to build using ACSS. Okay, paper needs an ACSS. No, yeah, you do not need automatic CSS in paper. It will translate. The AI can translate automatically. Forgot about this and I'm late. Well, my word, you missed a tremendous amount. I mean, you're going to have to go back 50 lashings, first of all. And then when you heal from your 50 lashings, you're going to have to go back and rewatch from the beginning. Because we're deep into it now. We are deep into it now. I always end my messages with please. That doesn't work. No, if you're too nice, it knows you're a pushover. and it does not produce. Okay, get to work. This is the only downside of Opus. Like, you know, it's a really good model. It's a bit token hungry, and it overthinks. It's an overthinker. But like I said, if there's any part of the project to overthink on, it's this part. And to like really analyze and really, you know, take your time and do quality work, it's this part. All right. Mood is mineral. Okay. It's got a palette going. Gonna stick with Helvetica New. I actually like Helvetica New as a font. I think that would fit well for this project. Oh, shoot. It's generating images. I mean, obviously you could feed it. You would put the images in the folder in here, by the way. Okay, so this is what you would do. Okay. So you would go new folder, you would go images or assets or whatever, put your real client photos in there, direct it to that folder, and now it'll just start throwing those in. We don't have any of those, so it looks like it's gonna generate them. Did you ever do a video on how to set up paper with IDE? I did not. It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. Paper has the instructions right on their website. It takes 2 seconds. Yeah, Opus can be slow, but results are good. Oh, look at this. Look at this. All right, well, that's not great. But this first one is legit. That first one's legit. Okay. Now, I mean, we're a roofing company. I don't know necessarily why we're looking at the inside of a house, but maybe that maybe should be part of the story, you know? We can't always just show a roof in every picture. Can't just show a roof in every, gotta tell the whole story. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does with this. Look at the craftsmanship. I don't know. I'm not a roofer, so I don't know what we're looking at here, or if that's good or bad. I don't know. But this might tell the story of the craftsmanship that goes in it. Look at the care that tile is being placed with. Those hands look like they know, they've been around. Those hands have worked on some roofs, okay? Those hands have worked on some roofs. Let's see. Did you try Claude Fable? I tried it before it was nuked, and it was really good. It's a bit neutered now. ChatGPT Image 2 is great for image generation. Yeah, I agree. ChatGPT is very good at image generation. I love how it gasses itself up. These are excellent and precisely on brief. Like, dog, you made them. What are you you can't grade your own paper. You can't grade your own paper. Settle down. Settle down. I'll be the judge of whether it's, you know, excellent and precisely on brief or not. You know, that's not a great one. That's not a great one. But who knows? We don't know how it fits into this story. Unfortunately, this will be a little time consuming because we did tell it to go National Geographic, you know, like with the layout. So it's a lot of imagery, supporting text. Now, to be clear, after we do this UI, we would get this approved by the client, and then we would continue doing wireframing and UI for the most part, unless you have a development team that finished screens can get passed along to. Now, in this stream, for the sake of time, am not going to do any other pages. Okay, I'm going to show you now how we would go from UI into development. But we got to get this first iteration of the UI out. Hopefully it's decent. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I fuck with that one. All right, planning next moves. Hopefully we start seeing something come to life in paper over here. By the way, Codex for me did well at pulling images and assets from live sites. Great for rebuilding. Yeah, it's great at that. It's really good at that. Now, I haven't, depends on how it's done. You have to be very careful, because if you tell it to use these existing images, sometimes if you're not referencing a legit URL or telling it to do it like that way, it will just try to regenerate them. Like it'll try to recreate a clone of it. And that's not the real photo, right? Okay, so now it's doing the images for the carousel. Yeah, I don't use Midjourney anymore. Fell off very hard. As Mahmoud says, fell off hard, right? You don't need it. It's just not. Look how fast this is happening too, right? This is, I know we're sitting here waiting, but this is relatively fast for image generation inside an existing project scope where we're trying to get stuff done in many, many different areas. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this allows you to actually work, because the client is sitting on whatever assets they have. First of all, they probably took them with a cell phone. I will tell you this, okay? When I had an agency, I was actually, I've done photography my entire life, right? So I'm a really good photographer. There were a few points in time where I sold my own photography services to the client, like, dog, you need better photos, okay? And I did them. Then later on, when I got too busy, I would tell them, I'd be like, hey, I got a couple photographers I know. You need to go hire them, and you guys need better photography, okay? This is actually a way with AI to generate photos, generate really high quality images, to show them, hey, here's what your website looks like with my photos in it, and here's what it looks like with your photos in it. Do you understand how the photography is like pulling this site down? And show them that, because they're gonna be like, that looks amazing. Then you plug in their shitty photos, and what looked amazing doesn't look amazing anymore. That's because on a photo-heavy website, it's the quality of the photography. Like National Geographic wouldn't be National Geographic if Jane Schmo and her $500 point and shoot were sent out on the project. You know what I'm saying? So clients don't get that though. They don't understand it. You got to show them, hey, look how hard this design fell off when I plugged your images into it. Got to coach them up. Got to coach them up. So if you do sell photography, or you want to partner with photographers and sell their services for them and make more connections and such, this is a good way to do it. Okay, so it's creating the high fidelity artboard and building section by section. All right, let's see what it comes up with. Let's see what it comes up. There we go. Now the fun begins. Now we see something come to life. All right, let's I'm not going to pause, but y'all pause, okay, here. And just in the chat, let me know, how are you feeling about this as a process so far? Are you liking how this is coming together? Do you feel like this is going to be valuable for you? Let me know. I use bamboo paper. I don't know what that is. Come on, all you people listening with a side ear. Don't give me the side ear. Get your ass to your keyboard. Get your fingers typing. There's, how many people we got here? Over 200 people here. Kraken says definitely valuable. Looks to give more control than Claude Design, so can probably become part of the design process. Definitely once I connect all the dots. This is the piece missing in my current flow. Insanely valuable content and process here. Super valuable. Okay, good. I especially like the discovery part. Okay. Good, 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 good. It's coming to life. It's okay. Now, while it's coming to life over here, I can get started on the next thing. Okay. We will go to, let's go to Rocket. Let's log in here. Let's create a site. Miami Roofing. Okay. Let's go US East. We are a Miami roofing company after all. Okay. You know what? I'm going to have to pull this over here for just a second. All right. Let's go administrator username, password, administrator email. Okay. Create. Once I get into it, I'll bring it back onto the other screen over here. Is Grok also available for research in German? I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's go into WP admin. Okay. So here's our website right here. First things first is all this shit that WordPress gives you. Turn it off. Okay. By the way, this process that you're watching will work with Etch Studio as well. So you could be doing this as a static or semi-static. It's not static, semi-static website, or as a full-blown WordPress website. Either way. Either way. All right, let's go to plugins. Let's go to hwp.com/account. Let's go to automatic CSS /account. Okay, let's log in. Yeah. Kevin at digitalgravy.co. Okay, need to unlock this. Okay, get me in. Okay, let's go to downloads, Etch, partner, download. Okay, 1.6.1 downloaded. All right, kill that. Let's go to log in here. All right, let's get in. Is this gonna show? I think EDD shows your codes. So let me get this. Yep. Oh, it would have for sure. EDD is fucking trash-o-matic. Okay, let's get that. Kill that. Go back in here. Add plugin. Holy crap! What did it install? Fucking get out of here. Get out of here. What are we doing? All-in-one SEO. Whoa. What is all this? Holy smokes. I got, okay, get. Fuck, I just got diddled by fucking rocket.net. That didn't used to happen. Did I miss a checkbox somewhere? Unbelievable. So unbecoming of a hosting company. Just reaching in like that, violating me. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. Downloads. Let's get Etch in here. Okay, package should not be installed. PHP version. Rocket, come on, dog. Rocket's not having a good look right now. Rocket is not having a good look right now. Where's Miami Roofing? Where is it this one that we just did? Miami Roofing, advanced, PHP version. Oh my Lord. Are you okay? Are you good? Are you good? As my daughter would say. Rocket.net, are you good? Okay. Holy smokes. Oh, WordPress. God, hey, if this doesn't sell you Etch Studio, I don't know what does. Nobody wants to do this nonsense. This is not the life we want to live. Upload plugin. How many clicks does it take? All right, activate plugin, add plugin, upload plugin, choose file, ACSS. Okay, activate plugin. I'm gonna put in my codes real quick. Don't look. I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna say, what is this? Etch license, copy, paste, okay. Good, save and activate. And go to automatic CSS, license, grab that. By the way, if you don't already do this, 1Password, okay, or whatever you use, drop your license key in there. You gotta have your license keys in 1Password. You can access them easy from anywhere. Get these in real quick, okay? All right, let's bring that tab back over. So now we are licensed, locked, and loaded. Oh, you know what? I didn't get the etch theme. Let me do that over here. Okay, WP admin. No, I actually need a count over here. And let's go etch theme. Okay. Oh, that's the license key. I don't want that. Etch theme. Downloads. Download. Perfect. Okay. So add theme. Upload theme and grab that right there. Okay, activate. So we got the theme, we got the plugin, we got ACSS, we launch Etch, we should be good to go. Super fantastic. We're gonna open settings and we're gonna go allow custom font uploads. We will go to AI and turn on the AI connector. I will eventually turn on the assistant, but I don't need it right now, but I definitely need the connector. Okay. I can delete all these. I should also, because WordPress is a fucking trash can, go back in to settings and yeah, you got to set this every fucking time. New York, save, go into permalinks, post name, save, and that's probably it. Probably all the shenanigans we need right now. Yeah, I know. Local blueprints is the way. I get it. Okay. All right. I'm trying to remember Edge connector. There's an npx command. Do we have that in docs yet? Connector. Yeah. Right here. Okay. So I can actually go in. I think it's still working over here. Where's paper? Let's see where we're at. Okay. These two images, if this image right here and this image right here were better, this would look better. This is, like I said, this is a photography heavy design at this point. There's our carousel going off the screen. It's still working though. It's still plugging away. Look what I was able to do while my designer is over here working. These two pictures need to be replaced. These are not good. They kill the vibe. They kill the vibe. But in terms of a site that is going to tell its story primarily through imagery, with supporting text and guide the user to a feeling and a vibe and a conversion, I think it's doing a pretty decent job so far. You also got to remember, you want to see it in kind of an immersive fashion where it's a little bit, where's the fucking view? Why does zoom to, that's not zoom to fit. What are you talking about? You're garbage. This is garbage. They got to fix it. There we go. You can use the mouse wheel. Okay. So you want a bit more of the full screen vibe you're going to get. See that, I wasn't completely sold on this, but once you see the inside and you start to think about what that says, yeah, you're kind of right, kind of right. And this would actually be decent. This photo's horrific. I mean, this is absolutely horrendous. Just, I don't know. Wait, are we a fucking painting company? What happened here? Why are we looking at, we shouldn't be looking at, this is not what a roofing company does. You know? This whole section needs to be reimagined with the photography here. Okay, that's a good way to do a featured quote. No problems with that. Could even be a little bit of a slider thing where you can slide through some featured quotes. I like the carousel here. Full bleed off the edge. Nice and modern. That's going to work. It's going to work. This section we could iterate on a little bit. It's a little boring. It's a little, not a lot going on here. Going to need a better photo for the footer for sure. But the general like layout and such is good. Let's go ahead and say, I'm going to copy this node. Let's just copy this node real quick. Hop over. Now, the other thing you can do is while one agent is working, you can hop to another agent and say, this needs to be a legit full footer, not this lily, basic bitch shit you delivered in round one. Okay. You start to get sassy after a while. Like, the deeper we get into this, is like, look, just cut the shit, dog. Like, why did you even think to do that? You know, you cut a corner there. You shouldn't be cutting corners, okay? And this is not a real employee, so you don't have to have, HR is not gonna get on to you about anything, you know? You can really unload on them. Just feel free, Get some of your aggression out, you know? But I want you to see how, you know, you can have one agent doing one thing and another agent doing another thing, and it's all going to work out. Okay. And this is where being zoomed in doesn't help all that much. There we go. I couldn't see my other tabs. So see, this agent's working on finalizing the thing. This agent's working on fixing the footer. So you can have multiple agents working at the same time. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, it's doing that. It's Opus, so it's going a little slower than I'd like, but now you could also switch models. If you've got something where you're like, oh, a faster, you know, less heady model could handle this, switch models in that bitch. Start a new chat, switch the model, and tell it what to do, and it'll go do that one thing, and it'll stay in its lane. Okay, you could use multitasker cursor, just leave placeholder with prompt of images. Real question is, what is the cost of this in tokens? I don't know, I could go after the fact and I could add them up for you. I can guarantee you it's dramatically cheaper than hiring a real designer and a real copywriter and a real everything else. Okay, both are fully available, blah, 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 design brief. All right, got that. All right, is it done or is it not done? Is it still thinking? Paper's got this little animation right here means that paper is something still working in here, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect the Etch connector now. So I'm gonna start a new agent window and I'm gonna go back to where we had our docs and I'm gonna get this doc right here, okay? And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna say, hey, I need you to connect. I'm still using Sonnet 4.5. Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Is this achievable with a model that runs locally on your own machine? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, Etch Connector is now running. Etch Connect as my tab. Open an Etch Builder in your tab and follow the run console. I don't think we need to do that. Did I not? I probably didn't. I probably did not click the connect. Well, one, I'm not in Etch. It would help a lot if I was actually in Etch. Then you connect right here. You allow, and then you say, sorry, my Etch window should be connected now. Do you see it? And it should be called, I don't know, whatever this is called. Ah, look at this. Yes, Miami Roofing. Miami Roofing. Because remember, with the Etch connector, you can actually work on multiple projects at the exact same time. And you just call them by name. Hey, agent, do this in this project. Hey, agent, do this in this project, right? You can work on multiple projects same time. So we are connected. So let's go back to paper now. And we're going to see, are we done yet? Are we done yet? Woo! Look at this. We get a nice little footer in here. Now, see this? I don't like that. Bam. I didn't have to reprompt. I'm working in paper. I just click something. Hey, I don't like that. Let's get rid of that. Okay, but I like the rest of what got done here. All right, let's see what these agents are saying. Are they done yet? Everything reads crisp, clean, lanes aligned, nothing clips. Marking the work complete. Good job, bro. Good job. Okay, what is this saying? High fidelity, what changed, cinematic photography, blah, 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 blah. Where it comes true, full bleed carousel. Okay, now watch what you can do. Watch what you can do. Watch what you can do, okay? I want you to create a doc. I'm just doing this on the fly. I haven't actually done this before on a real project, but I know it's possible, and I'm gonna see it happen. Watch this. I want you to create a doc that I will use for ACSS setup. Now, I actually got an idea right here on the fly where I'm like, you know what? I should add a skill that translates all the shit that was done into an ACSS import. So I could just take the ACSS JSON import and import it, and my shit's configured based on the colors, typography, everything that was done in paper, okay? I just thought of that. That's gonna get added. That's gonna get added. Okay, I want you to create a doc that I will use for ACSS setup. Call it ACSS setup, okay, .md, and just start for now with the colors, okay? Map the hex colors to the ACSS color token names, okay? And then that way, when I'm setting up ACSS in a minute, I can easily just go in and grab the colors and I can pop those in. But see, there's benefits to working in this kind of file system approach here. Now, I like what I'm looking at here. You know what I can do? I can copy this whole entire page, or what I like to do to make sure things are on track is I like to go node by node, at least in the beginning, until I know shit is working out the way that I expected, and then I can start doing larger chunks at a time. But I start out with smaller chunks, okay? So for example, this hero node right here, I'm gonna copy this node. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go to the Etch connector and I'm gonna say, well, first let's go in to Etch, okay? Here we are on Etch. Gonna go to the content hub. Sample page, no. We're gonna go, well, no. We're gonna go home, okay? We'll create this page right here. And then I'm gonna go into the home page, okay? Perfect. So now I go into here and I say, I want you to build node in the home page of Miami Roofing, okay? Build node, the home page hero. In the homepage of Miami Roofing, okay? Bam. And so what I'm just demonstrating now is how we actually get into the development process, right? You're gonna see and now it's gonna go in and read, it should go in and read the skill files. There it is right there. Agent.etch.md, html.md, etch reset.md. Okay, it's looking at its skills. This is a design to code task. Read the hero design from paper, convert it to Etch compatible markup, then build it in the connected Etch tab. Let me set up a plan and gather context, okay? All right, so it's gonna go off. Now, it only does this once where it like kind of has to learn. Remember, it's a new agent, new phone, who dis, right? As you build more things down the line, it goes faster because it doesn't have to redo all of this. Okay. I'm not convinced by the AI's ability to design. Okay, so let me reiterate once again. What you're looking at was essentially one-shotted by the process. What did I try to convey multiple times? By the way, you have to do this with real designers. You got to go back and iterate and iterate and iterate and push and prod and hone in and choose specific nodes and refine and refactor, okay? You're looking at something that was one-shotted. When I do this, for real, when I press, you guys have seen the new Etch website that I've been working on. That no designer worked on that website, okay? You are going to get, and let's keep in mind, 80% of the sites, this is WDD Live after all. What did this entire stream for the first 75 episodes consist of? Dogging every fucking website in existence, because 90% of them are absolute fucking trash. So this guided process will beat all of those, hands down. Not even a question. What you're looking at now beats those hands down without even a question, okay? And I essentially one-shotted. Like I didn't even spend the time to continue to refine and everything else. Okay, what is it doing over here? This is still Opus, by the way. Okay, yeah, it's checking the Etch API, doing some shit. It's got to do all this in round one, so it knows exactly how it's supposed to go about doing this. Remember, we're not just asking it to build something. It would have already built it. We're asking it to do things a very specific way. Guidance and guardrails, and it has to study what those things are before it can actually produce anything. Okay, let's see what chat's. Check in with chat here. Could someone explain why I should buy Etch when I'm building custom Gutenberg blocks with Agentic AI anyway, still on the Etch? So many benefits. Well, first of all, the tremendous benefit of a visual interface for continued iteration and future development work, not having to reprompt your entire life. Tremendous benefits in many different ways. With custom blocks, like okay, so when I build a component, when you build a component, I bet you don't know how to fucking edit that component or add props or to do anything else. I can very quickly wire up new props and connections inside of Etch. When you do loops, when you do conditional logic, when you do that stuff, you have to go into the code to analyze how that was done. Fuck no. No. That's not the life we're gonna live. In Etch, all of that is abstracted into the interface. So loops are easy to work with and manage and add and manipulate. You can go in and do the same thing with conditional logic, even very advanced conditional logic. Lots and lots of very advanced stuff are still well within your control, and you are not beholden to an agent to continue working on the website. Okay. Oh yeah, it doesn't even have media to work with, and I wonder how it's going to handle that. I'm pretty sure it can bring the media in, right? But we didn't create a media folder over here. I should probably have, let's go, okay. I'm gonna go to a new agent for this, and I'm actually gonna use Composer. And I'm gonna say, we generated images that we inserted into the UI in Paper, but we never added those images to an assets folder in this project. I need you to do that. Not to mention that with your custom blocks process, can you convert that over to a non-WordPress site if you wanted to? Because I can do that with Etch Studio. Or will be able to do that with Etch Studio and vice versa. Do you want to not be beholden to WordPress? Because this site that I'm building now, I could be building in Etch Studio and not even worry about WordPress. Okay, so it's just tremendous advantages. Blocks are a proprietary language that mean nothing to outside of WordPress. I would never think future forward era 4 kind of, why would we beholden ourselves to only working with WordPress blocks? That's crazy. Why would we build our entire workflow, our entire agency, our entire business around proprietary block structures in a dying content management system, you know? So look, I now have all those assets right here. So now I can tell the agent over here that was a little confused, right? Okay, it's still learning. Page is blank, and the ACSS palette is unconfigured for the brand, so I'll build self-contained hero BIM component, locally scope custom properties for the brand colors. Okay, all right, let's stop. Okay, stop. You're overthinking, okay? I will configure ACSS later. Just build what I showed you. Just build the hero according to the general development guidelines in this project, okay? It'll all work out. By the way, and I'm gonna reference the assets folder. Assets contains the images you're looking for. Upload those to the media library and use them that way, okay? By the way, if you don't have a lot of experience working with AI, this is exactly how I would recommend you like interact, okay? If it's going off the rail, fucking hit stop and redirect it. Tell it to get its shit together, okay? You are the captain now, all right? You don't have to just sit here and let it do its nonsense. Let me check whether the project has credentials configured and what the, so I don't actually know if the Edge connector has media library access yet or not. But what I could do is, I'll show you guys the new asset manager too. This would be a good bridge safe mode blocks fetch. There's no way to end, but this is a setup. Okay. All right. Never mind. I'll put the assets in myself. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll go in here. I'm going to go into the asset manager. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. We're going to go new collection placeholders. This is the brand new Etch asset manager. So I don't have to F with the nonsense in WordPress, right? We will go to Kevin Geary. We'll go to projects. We'll go to Miami roofing. We'll go to assets. We'll go to images. And how big are these? Holy smokes. These are large. All right, we're gonna, now I do have, I will show you guys, I have compression. I have compression inside of Etch. For free, by the way. But I don't want to upload these giant files because that's gonna take too long. So I'm not gonna resize, yeah, WebP, okay. I'll put the quality at 100% though. And let's go, yeah, choose. Where was I just a second ago? Right here, Miami roofing, assets, images, new folder, okay, squashed, okay, choose, okay, export. And it's going right here. Here's the progress. There we go. That's done. Okay. Let's bring these in. Bam. And let's go there. Sorry. You gotta pause for just a split second to let it register that you're dropping. So I went a little too quick. I was a little too quick on it. Okay. I believe. Yes. Okay. And I think we had okay, good. That was fixed. Nice. Fantastic. All right. They're all uploaded. Look at this. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now, let me full screen this, okay? You can also click this button over here. Now I'm in the compression mode where I can compress this. You can also bulk compress. So I can grab all of these and I can hit compress. And now it's gonna compress all of them. And I can control the level of compression, right? Light little compression. It's gonna show you the original file sizes and the new file sizes over here. And I'm gonna say, yes, I wanna overwrite the current version, okay? You can expand these. I don't think that works quite yet, but it's on its way. Okay, output format is gonna stay WebP. We're not gonna resize them. Let's go ahead and compress. And I'm just gonna see what this does and how long it takes because I literally have never done it. But yeah, this is legit. This is legit. Okay. I think the external agent tried to take over again. I'm gonna close the overlay. And I think trying to go, okay, did this finish? Yeah, okay, it looks like it finished. Because that's 132. Okay, yeah, this finished. This looks like it finished. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to the agent and be like, all right, the photo's in the media library now. Oh, it was trying to build while I was doing all that. Okay, yeah, and it had no media source. So I'll just go in. Look at this, the picker now. When you're going to pick, you're picking from the new asset manager. And you can go into the grid view if you want to. Let me go into paper and reference. Okay, it's that overview like drone shot. That's the drone shot right there. Let's select. Okay. All right, fantastic. So let's see what it did. Let's see what it did. So, all right. All the CSS, it's using BEM. All of this is named. Okay. Our buttons are not in yet. A button. Oh, it's trying to use button base. Okay. So if I used like button primary or something, it would be like that. But the ACSS colors are not in yet. Okay. Hero, inner. Okay. Align center, figure image. Is this positioned absolute? Oh, okay. That's positioned absolute in there. Is this using any sort of padding here? Background color. Okay. Oh, it's got a before pseudo element in there. Oh, that's how it's doing the overlay. Okay. It did some overlay stuff with pseudo elements. Okay. All right. Now we don't have fonts in there or anything else yet. But I'm going to say, so I think you can copy this. What actually gets copied there? Let's go in here. Okay, that's the whole JSON of it. There was a way to, you see, if I was using Etch AI, all right, I'm going to do it like this, but I feel like I remember last time that you don't have to do it this way. All right, so I'm gonna go back in here. I'm just doing something quick here. All right, image. What am I? Etch connector server. Okay, is this the one that built the homepage? Yeah. Okay. I'll just say this: the main content of that hero is aligned to the bottom of the section in the design, but not in the version you built. Okay, let's just see if it can correct that. Yeah, I think you're right. The active ready to drop state definitely needs some styling improvement. Etch undo button is top tier. Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, the other thing that we're looking at, right, is these are not, well, it is fine. But remember, what I did with the collection here is I created a placeholders collection because I want to know what are my placeholder images versus like my real images, because I want to go back in and eventually just delete this entire folder. All right, let's see what's going on in cursor. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go into a new agent. I'm gonna go to Composer 2.5 now. This is not. We don't need a fucking genius to do this, okay? The main content of the hero is aligned to the bottom of the section of the design, but not in the version that exists in Etch, all right? In the design, I'll reference the paper node real quick. And I'll drop back here. And I'm just gonna show you how you can, what a multi-agent kind of situation can look like. With the class name and style duplicates building multiple pages. No. But you can also tell it to use specific names. Like you could be like, I want you to call it main hero or something like that. And it'll just use that as the BIM. Now, see, this is a you guys pick your workflow, but this is the benefit of Etch. Okay, there are two lines of thinking or preference, I guess. One would be, do you like to just prompt, reprompt, or do you like to just take over and fix anything that goes wrong? I personally, often in a situation like, I would just fix whatever I didn't like, and I would fix that using Etch. But a lot of people just want to reprompt, and we're gonna see. To me, like, you're waiting, okay? Like it's not like it happens instantly. Let's see if it can actually get it fixed. And the outcome now is like up in the air, right? Is it going to be able to fix it? I know for a fact that if I just stepped in, I could fix it. So that's why I prefer to just do it. Now, I think the people who love to reprompt don't actually know how to step in and fix it. That's their main problem. There we go. Okay, it fixed it. Good. So there's an example of, do I just want to reprompt? What is going on here? Block, inline size, background color, accent. Oh, accent's probably not even turned on. Okay, white. What is that supposed to be though? Oh, I know what's going on. I know. Empty element size of 0. There we go. It's just a line. But in Etch, I actually created a rule, and I got to figure out why it doesn't follow the rule. But there is a rule in the training that says if anything is smaller than 20 pixels, set empty element size to 0. Because you want that. That's what creates the correct rendering in the builder. It would have been fine on the front end the entire time. And I'll go to the front end and we'll take a look. Okay, so there's my hero section right there. I obviously need to get my ACSS settings in here. They're not in there yet. But we're off to the races. Now, what I can do is I can go to templates and I can go to index, and I'm editing the index template. And the parts that nobody wants to do, I'm gonna tell it now. I'm gonna go to paper, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna grab the footer, and I'm gonna have it build those, because nobody wants to build those by hand, okay? So I'm gonna say bang, node SL. Oh, it didn't copy my other one. What are we doing here? Okay. I think that was the footer, the last one that got done. Okay, and I don't think you have to necessarily reference them like this, but I do just to be specific. Okay, okay. I'm now in the index template in Etch. I want you to build the header and footer. Header above main. I don't even know that you need to tell it that, like, be that specific. Let's just see how Composer does. Like, let's use, Composer 2.5 is actually a very capable model. Very, very capable model. So let's let Composer run with it here. And we should see, theoretically, faster production. Cursor 2.5 is a faster model. The ability to go in and fix is what makes this such an easier workflow than, say, Astro. I've got the, yeah, absolutely. With Astro, you are beholden to the agent. All these people, I love Astro. They're not doing a fucking thing. All they're doing is prompting. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, you like, it is Etch, doing this in Etch, an agentic workflow in Etch is far superior to other agentic workflows. And never forget, I'm doing this in WordPress, but I could be doing this in Etch Studio and not even fuck with WordPress. Not even have to deal with any of the WordPress nonsense. It would be cool to be able to have the AI add all the schema stuff automatically. Etch just needs to be able to accept it. Yeah, it will be able to. Yeah. Managing a learning MD file is a good approach as well. Yeah, the name of the game is to avoid the reprompting spiral. 100%. 100%. Okay. Let's go back in and let's just peek at etch here. So it doesn't look like anything has actually started in here. Does anybody know how? I've actually never... How do you... I just want this to be the full window. You know what I'm saying? Appearance, primary sidebar, secondary sidebar, status bar. Oh, well, we need that. View, appearance, secondary. Zen mode, centered layout, Zen mode, full screen, open browser. I don't want this panel here because I don't need it right now. I don't need to see files. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. If anybody knows, let me know. Slow, these models are slow as hell. Slow is relative. So if it nails it, then I don't care that it took a little bit longer. Fast, but fucking slopping it up is not what we're looking for. Now, it remains to be seen if it nailed it or not. But that's the thing is I don't want it to do all my work. I don't need it. It would be nice if it did. But if it does 90%, especially of the grunt part of the work, and then I can just go in and tweak and adjust and finalize, totally fine with that. I'm still way better off than I was before. I don't need it to be perfection because I have actual skills. Like that's why I've been trying to communicate to people. Like skilled people are still the ones running this game. Doesn't Control B hide that panel? We'll see. That'd be Command B, right? No, Command B shows this sidebar. I'm afraid to close pane. I'm afraid of what might happen if I do that. Not save yet. Until real page exists, colors will solve. Wait, oh, so you're done? Header and footer are built. Oh. You're done? The overlay still says you're thinking. Do we have another agent doing anything? Let's kill this chat. I think all these agents are done. I'll clear the Etch AI state now. I mean, this might just be a little of a bug on the connector progress overlay thing. Because the build script left the AI state on thinking instead of clearing it when finished. It's dismissed now, idle. Okay. So what's going on in here? Footer brand text says color neutral. Yeah, why you use, oh, okay. So it like needs to use text like muted here as an example. But this is an example of coming in real quick, just identifying, oh, I see where it went off the rails a little bit there and getting it done. Everything else for the time being is just fine, right? What are these? So we got a list, LIAs, all this stuff is good. Some locally scoped, it's just adjusting the link color. Because the link color is not white in ACSS, so it knew the tokens to override and it overrode them, and it's using variables here. That font weight change isn't even necessary, but it's not like cluttered up with absolute slop. You might see a couple unnecessary things here and there that you can clean up, super easy, but for the most part, that's very like efficient CSS, right? This is real wordy, okay? Quote. Okay, and then what did it use? Button primary, button outline. Obviously, that needs to be configured in ACSS. Background color, it's using base. Border block in. I mean, what does our UI look like? Let's go to paper. Yeah, so like, why did it Why did it use, oh, it must think base is like a white, okay? So we just switch it to that. And then padding block, space L is a little aggressive. Like, why don't we just go S or XS or something like that? Same thing here, little bit aggressive on the logo size and here, but now I'm showing you an example of where I'm just going in and just tweak. Very, very easy, very quick. Like this is the benefit. I don't have to keep reprompting. I don't have to play that game. And I can even go like by 1.1, drop that down a little bit more. Okay, now things are starting to get a little bit better. What is this? Border block end, base ultra dark. No, I just want to go border. That's all. Okay, that'll take care of it right there. Because in ACSS, I can go to borders. I can go to borders here, and I can define what are my defaults, right? So I am using the dark border by default, and I'll just drop these to 10%. So they're a little bit, you know, just subtle. We're just gonna be using subtle borders here. Okay, and so now I go to view this page, and suddenly I have a header and I have a footer to go with my hero section. And I didn't have to build any of it. Is it perfect yet? No, it's not. It needs a couple of tweaks, but I'm well on my way. Remember, I'm doing a stream, but I would have been playing chess while that was happening. Like, you know, there's a lot of shit I did not have to do yet. And so now I would just keep going. We build the rest of the page. Let's just try to one-shot this for the purpose of the stream. I would still go section by section, okay? But I'm gonna grab these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's the footer CTA as 6. Let's just copy those. And let's just let Composer run with it. I mean, Composer did a decent job here on the header footer situation. So let's just well, I don't know. Why don't we switch models? How about we switch to GPT 5.5? I don't think GPT 5.5 is all that good when you're doing designy type stuff, but we'll put these nodes in here. Okay, and I'm gonna switch back to, save that work, switch back to the home page real quick, okay? And go back here, okay? I'm back on the home page in Etch. Build these remaining sections. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to give it any more instruction. We'll let it rock and roll. And just to show you like how it really works, I'll go play chess. I'll literally go play chess. I've been on a little bit of a losing streak. Yeah, I know. We're gonna adjust the thumbnail size in the asset manager. Click on maximize chat. Ooh, okay. Here. Where's maximize chat? Do I right click? No. I think I can go to agents window maybe. Is that what I want? Maybe this is what I want. Let's close these. Here's Miami Roofing. I did a test with Elite Roofing before this. Okay, maybe this is what I want, or just purely working with agents here. That's probably what I want. Let's close this down. But I don't know if I can't really see the conversation right now because I did this mid-chat. But whatever. Let's go play some chess. This is what I literally do half the time now. It's like, all right, it's doing some heavy lifting. I'm gonna go lose at chess. We'll play a little Sicilian. A little Sicilian. Dude, this guy's playing fast. He's playing at light speed. What's going on? I might be in trouble. I might be in trouble, guys. Might be in trouble. Let's fianchetto the bishops, shall we? I got to kick back for this one. I got to be able to see the field. Got to be able to see the field. Can't be too close. Got to be able to see the field. Yeah. There's a lot to catch up with. If you're just arriving, look at this. Look at the fianchetto. Fianchetto defends while we hit the rook. Could go here, and there's nowhere to go from there. Actually, there is. Got a little hanging bishop here. Bishop hanging a little bit there. Let's hit the hanging bishop. We're still fianchettoed, X-raying the rook up top. He moves in. Can we pressure? Can we hit him with the PPP, pressure the pin piece? Can I pressure this? Is there any way to pressure that knight a little bit more? I want to put a little more pressure on the knight. Maybe here. Maybe here. That's getting a little aggressive. We're getting a little aggressive. I don't want to get too out in the open, you know? You don't want to get away from your home base here with the queen. Too much. What are we thinking right now? What's he going to do? Do we know? Can we predict? He's got here, can't go here, can't go here. He put a knight on the boundary, not usually a good thing. Not usually a good step here. Oh, he gave me the rook too. That's why you X-ray, boys. That's why you X-ray. Think about just taking the rook. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I just take the rook? Do we see any reason to not just take the rook? Take the rook. He knew I was taking the rook. He had already given it up. All right, let's go to, we're off to a good start. Now, I do not underestimate my ability to fumble the bag, okay? And it could be late stage fumble. I am known in chess to fumble. I'm a little dyslexic. Dyslexia and chess do not go great together, I'll be honest. So I got to really, I got to be a little patient here. I am now up, though. I am now up +2. And when you're up, it's good to trade. Trades are good when you're up, typically. So I'm thinking about just snatching this bishop off the board. Brings his queen a little bit more out into the open. Frees up my queen to start looking at opportunities. I think that's what we're going to do. Maybe I should have developed a little bit further first. Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say. He's thinking about this a lot. I don't know what he's thinking about. To me, that's a clear retake. Okay. Good job. Maybe we go pawn up. Okay. We want to stop this bishop from going anywhere. He can't go here, but he could come down here, and that starts to become a problem. With a lingering queen, a knight in this spot would be highly problematic. So I'm thinking about just pushing this pawn right here. Or no. I could push. If I push this pawn, we're going to leave this guy hanging. I think we go pawn here. We have to prevent this knight from ever coming down here. That is not a situation we want to deal with. Thinking about popping into here and just snatching a knight right here. We just got to get pieces off the board. Lower the complexity of the situation. We're up by 2. You ride out a +2. Victory all day. I'm thinking about what might happen. What's he looking at now? He's looking at this over here because he moved that pawn. Again, that's no threat. No threat. He's never going to play that. I'm thinking we go here. If he doesn't take this, I take with a hit on the queen because I also have this line defended. I also want to get my bishop the fuck out of here, though, because this bishop is... You want to connect your rooks, and I don't have connected rooks right now. I could just straight away hit the queen. Like, let's just poke the queen right here. Give a little poke. He can't take with the pawn because he loses his queen at that point. He's got this. This is an attack he has to respond to. He has to respond to this attack. No, chess is the way to go. Chess. We could answer some match questions, but my brain needs a break. My brain needs a little bit of a break. This is a long stream. Okay, didn't see that coming. What's he gonna do with that? He wants to hit this. He wants to hit this. I mean, that's not much. There's not much of a threat here. I'm just gonna connect these pawns up. Or, I think what I should do, all right, what if I bring the queen down? He can go here, he's protected, but not much. Not much. This pawn is dangerous the way it's at. That's why I kind of like, well, I don't know. I don't want to go here because I blocked my queen in. If his queen leaves this line, though, no, I don't have this. I don't have this because of this. I think I'm going to come down here. He can't go here. He can't go here. None of that's going to help him. He can't go here. He can't go here. He can't go here. Move the H pawn from H7 to H6. Oh, that must have been an old... that must have been an old chat. If you take the rook, the bishop will take your king. I don't think that's right. I don't know what that means. One thing we're not doing good on, guys, is time. Okay, we have to start moving a little faster, and this is where the wheels come off the geary chess bus very often. I get pressured on time, things don't go well. I need to make him think a little bit here. I need to have my next move planned. I need to know what we're doing next. Okay, so he takes there. You know what? I am not fucking worried. Oh, he's gonna come down and take this. So we're starting to get into a, but then I can come up and take this. Oh, what? What? He just wanted that pawn? That's all he wanted? Well, I'm only +1 now is the problem. But he's only got 1 rook. But those fucking knights are dangerous, man. Those knights are absolutely dangerous. But I want the queens off the board. He's going to take here. Do we have any threat of a fork? From here, no. But that is a takeable pawn. From here, no. Can't go here. Can't go here. Go here. He's going to bring this one down, most certainly. That's going to come into play at some point. I may want to go up with this pawn and just completely prevent this guy from going. I'm gonna start playing out. Still no, I just got to make sure we're not in a fork territory. He's in danger of being back rank mated because he hasn't moved any of these 3 pawns yet. I've got to get this rook out of the picture. And I can't do it because I only have a light squared bishop. This is a very annoying knight right here. I'm thinking about just, yeah, I mean, he just did that to prevent that. I'm going to march these up the board though. He doesn't have a queen anymore. He's got 1 rook. I'm not super scared of anything happening on this side. I'm really not, like, I'm not liking this a ton. I can't get in here is the problem. I can't go here. I mean, if he takes, I take, that's the same, it's the same shit. Like, I'm just down to let him take it, I think. I might go up here and then up here so I can kick this knight. I might go here to force him to take it. Like, make him want to jump. I can't do that, though, because I need this. This pawn's got to stay defensed. Oh! Come on. Didn't like that. Not liking that. Not loving that. I told you these knights are an absolute disaster. Double knights against mostly pawns. Not the look we wanted. Not the look we wanted to end up with. I just feel like his position is so tight, man. I got 2 minutes left. I got 2 minutes left. I think my king's going to have to start to get out into this mix too. We're going to have to start walking. Yeah, I know. There's probably a fork. Oh, right here. I'm toast. Right? Yeah, it's not a good move. Not a good move. I just don't know. I don't see what else we're gonna do with 2 minutes on the clock. This right here would be probably good. It's hard spotting the forks in like, you know, when you're moving quick. I mean, he hasn't spotted it yet, or he probably would have played it, but man, he's probably consulting his fucking AI right now. That's the problem with chess these days online. I swear, you get long pauses like this. Dude's screenshotting this situation to AI. All right, he didn't spot the fork. I can't even double my rooks because of this knight right here. I got to get out of the fork situation. I got to get out of the fork situation. I can get this pawn. If I clear out of here. Okay, let's just chill here. Is there a better, I don't see a better place to chill. I want to go up and grab this. It's such a weird position. But if I grab this, I can grab this. And then we're in a little bit of business, but we got 90 seconds left. I mean, if he doesn't protect this, I got to go. Oh, fuck you. Oh, look at this. Okay, I'm up here now. I'm going in now. Oh, I can just chew this line apart. I can just chew this line apart. I'd like to get up here maybe. I can't get over because of this one. This is not hanging. Holy smokes. Yeah, where you gonna go, bro? Where you gonna go? That's a good spot. All right. Well, this is not hanging anymore. So, any forks? Forks? Quick fork look. Quick fork look. With check. Gotta go. Got to go. Got to go. Connect the rooks. Do some damage with connected rooks. Oh, this is going to get very stressful, guys. This is going to get very stressful. Lock in. Lock in. This is going to get very stressful. I'm looking here. We're going to take this, get to go here. His knight's toast. If he doesn't get his knight out of there, his knight is absolutely toast. Oh, gosh. He's not even concerned. He's not even concerned. Should he be? Should he be? Should he be? I can't get to there. Okay. Let's move over. Oh, wow. Dude's selling right now. He's panicking. I didn't know he'd panic worse than me. Let's try to ladder mate him real quick. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? I actually need to shoot this up this side. Oh, God, he just... Oh, he moved? I didn't know I was on the clock. I don't want to draw either. Oh, killing me, Smalls. I don't know if I can get him. I'm not smart enough for this. I went to... Oh! Day in the life. Day in the life. In day in the life. Okay. See what we got. See what we got. So we don't have any color. We didn't configure our colors yet, but we're not doing bad. Some easy tweakable stuff here. So this should be like button neutral white, button outline like this. And then we probably don't even have the buttons turned on. Yeah, only primaries turned on. So we'll go neutral, light, outline variants. That should come to life now. Yeah. Okay. And then we just got to set our colors. Like we didn't set our colors. But as you can see, like it can build multiple sections at a time. These probably didn't need a background color. And you just grab you like zero out the gap and you just make some quick adjustments. I'd probably use content grid there. To make this end up looking like the paper layout, like that, right? It's got to be full bleed, okay? I can just show you real quick how we would probably do that. So we'll just go content grid, and then we will say that the solution intro, that should still be content width. Okay, so solution spread right here, that's all of these? Or is that just one? Grid, column, full. There we go. Now they're all, look at that. This content grid solves all problems. Okay, what is here? Padding block. Nah, we didn't need that. Okay, I'm just showing you, we make quick tweaks, quick adjustments here. Actually, this probably should have margin block end of container gap. Okay, perfect. Or really, that should probably match the section padding. So I'll just say section space M. That way this gap and this gap are equal. Okay, yeah, that's all good. And we just need colors in there. This can be padding block end of 0. Tighten that up. It's just like you just go in now and just quick tweaks, quick adjustments. And if we check this and see, okay, so we have an adjustment to make on these to make them mobile. That's already mobile responsive. This needs a quick tweak. These are already mobile responsive. Okay, this needs to be done. So this was never, okay, yeah, they just went straight grid 3. What I would do is just go pop in a media query and say, greater than 1200, that's when we want to go grid 3. So now, and would you say 1200? No, you'd probably say 1000. You'd probably say 900. There you go. So there's good, and then it pops down there. Might even say 960, something like that. So quick tweaks and adjustments, but everything looks relatively good. Okay. And again, I'm playing chess, I'm prompting, I'm doing this, and then I'm cleaning up, and that's the workflow, right? All right, let's do some quick questions to get them answered. Every time you take a piece, it compresses an image. There you go. I just missed made in 1. That's highly likely. Highly likely. Ship S with chess built in. I'm leaning towards it. Let's go hashtag Q. Man, this was a long stream. Okay. It's like old school days. Should I start at the top? I'll start at the top. How to paste HTML for a whole page in Etch instead of section by section. Just take all the HTML, create a div, drop it all in the div, and then drag it out. A little bit convoluted right now, but, or you feed it to Etch Intelligence. You turn on Etch Intelligence in here, feed it all to Etch Intelligence, and say, put this on the page for me, and it'll just do it. Can we paste a large CSS style sheet and have it automatically apply to existing selectors so it appears in the CSS panel? Yes. You do it through Etch Intelligence. So you feed it to Etch Intelligence and then say, give me this in a code block to import. It'll feed it back to you in a code block. It'll have a little insert button on it. You click insert and it'll essentially apply it to the selector system. Is S5 PB1? I'll do a video for PB101 people shortly to explain where we're at. Any updates on ACSS4 being fully released? It is fully released. It's done. It's finished. It's just waiting on us to... We were doing some research on possibly changing the licensing system, but we decided to stick with SureCard, I think. So we're just going to wire up the licensing system and then release it. But it's released. Does Figma connect? Okay, we did that one. A quick tour of your foundation docs. You have a cursor would be helpful. What about cloud design versus paper? Okay, we kind of did that. Okay, we did that. When you NPX those, when you NPX a new project in my Girico Agentic web design prompt, you will be able to see the files. Just go through them yourself. Does it still make sense to invest in the ACSS plugin for Figma if you prefer an agentic workflow like paper? No. That whole situation is like, with AI, you don't really need it anymore. AI is going to do all that for you. AI is going to map all the settings for you. It's not really necessary. Like the game changed very radically. People are still having trouble understanding that. Like, you know, we are literally like, I didn't fully predict like era 4 would be this full blown era 4, but we are in a new era, boys and girls. Like it is fucking, shit changed real quick. We got to stay up with it. What about frames? I think it would fit very well with agentic workflow and not let everything be created by LLMs, more deterministic, faster wireframing. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Or your shit would just continue to be, too boxed in, maybe. I don't know. How about Schema WP for ACSS MCP? I don't know anything about it. So send me something. Okay, I think that's it. It's all the pertinent questions, it seems. Press Command B, era 5 win. I don't know, bro. The pace this shit's moving at, era 5 might be tomorrow. We don't know. You got to buckle up. All right, I think that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I hope you have fun with the new NPX situation that I created. Let me know. Give me feedback. If you have any ways to improve it, I can improve it. If you don't own Etch yet, buy Etch. Especially like LTDs are ending, guys. LTDs, all of them, every single one of them. ACSS LTDs, Etch LTDs. They're all going away on July 15th. You got like 8 days left. 8 days left to snag an LTD. It's all going away. We're going full-blown annual, and we haven't decided on what Edge Studio is going to look like yet for pricing-wise. It's going to be very, very favorable, I think. Very favorable to doing non-WordPress websites. Same interface, same workflow, same everything, same capabilities. And it's not static. It's not static. It's Studio. It's not static. It's Studio. What does that mean? You can have post types. We're going to call them content types. You can have loops. You can have logic. You can have components. You can have all the shit that you want. Just no WordPress. Okay? Essentially free hosting on Cloudflare. So yeah, that's going to be very, very favorable, very exciting. You need to be up on all things digital gravy. Everything that we are at the forefront of all of this stuff. Remember, nobody else has this visual interface with an agentic workflow quite like this. And this is only the start. It's going to get better. And then, I mean, to me, I am so excited about Studio. I am so excited about it because 80% of the sites that I build don't need to be on WordPress. And if I can get rid of the WordPress junk, garbage, nonsense, headaches, nightmares, if I can get rid of that, and I will reveal. Let me. You guys stayed. You guys are OGs. You stayed all this time. Let me just check my Discord real quick. Let me see if there's a little sneak I can give you a something something, okay, that we haven't even announced yet. Maybe a little sneak of something. Just hang around for 1 second, okay? Just let me get into Discord real quick. Let me see if this is a doable, okay? But just bear with me. Maybe I can give you a sneaky sneak. Now, this is built simultaneous for WordPress and for Edge Studio, okay? It's going to be available for both. So don't get your panties in a wad before you have all the details, okay? I know people like to do that. Let's see here. I got too many windows over here. Okay, let's go over here. Let's go over here. General, okay. Looks like we never removed. Okay, hold on. I'm checking up on one thing real quick. Where were we talking about that? Okay, wasn't in here. Wasn't in here. Wasn't in here. Content, asset, AI, ACSS skills, not in there. HAI, not in there. Where did this conversation go? Studio pad. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. It's its own repo. You also need to run dev server alongside of it and ACSS if you need it. Should we try? Should we try to look? Yeah, I can't promise I can get, it's on its own repo. I can try, guys. I can try. Let's see. How do we want to approach this? Let's go new window. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to have to do this a little bit on my other screen because I don't think there's stuff that you're necessarily supposed to see. Okay. Where did he say that existed? Okay. Paper. Okay, where, oh, dude, there's so many tabs. Oh, well, go back. I gotta find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me get a new cursor window up. Okay, not this one. File, new window, new agent, new window. How do I get a new window? New window, open, new window. There we go. Okay, clone repo. Projects, let's go, new folder. We'll call this FE. Okay, open the cloned repository. Yes, I would like to do that. Probably got to go terminal npm install maybe. I think this might be on bun. What might be helpful to read the instructions too. Okay, architecture, development. It's bun. Bun install, bun run dev. Okay, shit, go back. Delete that terminal, new terminal. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's installing real quick. Bun run dev. What's that say? Cursor would like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, whatever. I know you can't, you're not supposed to see my screen. Okay, it's updating Docker real quick. It's installing WordPress. Let me go back and read the instruction again. Okay, development, boots a WordPress site at local. Okay. I have Etch running at the same time. I don't. Okay, maybe it did it on a different. Oh, it hasn't done it yet. Okay. Maybe it'll give me the link when it's done. says starting WordPress. We're making progress. We're making progress. Check your messages in Circle to see made in one. Okay. Communities. I don't have a message, David. You mean inner circle or etch circle or where? Too many damn circles. Hey, okay, but David, this is, I mean, yeah, if you, that's hard to, look at this. You see this 6.9 seconds? That's hard to see in 6.9 seconds. When you have the anxiety of 6.9 seconds, that's a hard find. That's a hard find, right? Cut me a little slack. Cut me a little slack. 6 point, this is the relevant piece of data right here. 6.9 seconds. Okay. All right. Let's see what, oh. No web page was found. Activate it, ran, force reoptimization of dependencies. Localhost 5180. Why would that not be, why would it not be working? All right, let's ask the chat here. Okay. I just started the dev server and it's not found when I visit the URL. Help me out. Kill these overlays here. I'll check the running terminal state first to see what command started the dev server. Server did start successfully. There may be two things using the same port. Feed has no standalone index.html in the plugin. What? Use 8899. Ho ho! Ho ho! How do we get in? Okay. Plugins. Front end. Okay. Hang tight. Hang tight. Do we need Etch to do this? Do we even need Etch to look at this? I don't even know if we need Etch to look at this. Because this, my friends, is... This, my friends, works on any WordPress website that uses a block theme or blocks in general. I think it's... I don't know if it's a... I don't think... maybe a block... I don't know. I don't know exactly. Guys, this is the front end right here. So this is going to come to, I should install Etch. I should probably install Etch. I already have the files. Let me just do it real quick. Choose file. Just so you could kind of get the full, you probably need the full experience, right? Themes, upload, choose, Etch theme, activate. I don't need automatic CSS though, I don't think. Do I? Do I really? Do I need it? I don't think I need it. Let's go to Etch. Let's go to license key. Is this gonna obfuscate it? I don't know. We'll just move it over here for a second. Okay. I hate window management, dude. It's not the fun part of what we're doing here. Oh my God, the windows. Get out of my way. All of that, and it does hide it. All of that, and it does hide it. Okay, move this over. Boom, here. All right. Let's settings. Geez. Nah, I don't think it matters. Let's launch Etch. Okay. Kill this. Okay. What do we want to do? Okay, so watch this. Let's go to AI, AI connector, save, connect external AI agent. Go back over here. Open new window. I can open my Edge connector. Edge connector. Bam. Okay, I'll just do that here. Okay. And I'll say, okay, what windows are live? I don't want to build anything real quick. No. What etch windows are live? Oh, did I? Damn, I didn't hit the fucking connector. Oh, I did. Okay. Etch connector windows. Live tabs. Quit being a dummy. Oh, I got it. Oh, okay. Because I opened this fresh. I didn't npx it. Hold on. Etch connector, docs.etchwp.com. Got to do this. Forgot. Bro, you're killing me. Connector's already running. Yeah, good. Should have done that in the first place. Okay. In front end editor, build a hero section and a features section. However you want it to look. However you want it to look. Don't be a basic bitch. Okay. Now, it should not use ACSS because it doesn't see ACSS installed. Theoretically, shouldn't do that. But I'm just gonna we're just getting something to where we can actually look at the meat of all of this. And I think you'll like what you're gonna see. This is going to come to WordPress. Etch for WordPress is compatible, obviously, and it's also going to come to Etch Studio. And this is very early sneak peek, guys. This is just the basics. Let's go check on it. Make sure it's doing its thing. Yeah, ACSS is not available. I'm just going to say don't use ACSS. I'm now inserting the two sections and their styles. The direction is a sharp signage editorial layout, huge black typography, chrome yellow accents. Also, holy smokes, dude, this is gonna be awful. I guarantee it. It's gonna be awful. I did say don't be a basic bitch though. So, maybe that was my fault. What am I using? Composer? GPT-5. Oh, God, GPT 5.5 too? On top of that? Oh, it's definitely going to be garbage. First insertion didn't reach Edge because the shell interpreted CSS as shell syntax for NPX could run. I'm moving the Edge script to a temporary file and running it. Connectors F flag, so CSS is passed in tech. Yeah, do that. Etch Intelligence would have already blazed through this, but I absolutely have to expose my license key to put that in, and I can't do that. None of this nonsense has to happen with Etch. That's, there are benefits to using the AI directly inside of Etch. We would have already been cooking, absolutely cooking. There are some downsides to the external. Okay, it says they're there. Hey, I mean, okay, hey, it's not bad. It's better than I expected. I did say don't be a basic bitch, didn't I? Okay, let's save. Hey, that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. Let's go to the front end. Okay? I mean, it's got some personality. I kind of like it. It's kind of cooking. Okay, you see this pencil right here? Now imagine you're Bev, you're a client, okay? You're a client, and you don't want to fuck with the block editor. Maybe it's Edge Studio, there is no block editor to fuck with, you know what I'm saying? And so you gotta have some other way. So I'm gonna click that little pencil, and I can just come in this bitch and write another headline, And then I can come down here, and I could maybe I want to write a better lead paragraph for right here, okay? Even though I'm not a copywriter. All right, that's Bev, So we're still working on, how are we gonna handle links and buttons and things like this, but I mean, this thing is editable too. I mean, we're directly on the front end of the website, boys and girls. We are not messing around, okay? I'm gonna apply edits, okay? So there you go, done deal. Now I'm gonna hop back into Etch. There you go, edits are in here. We need an image in here. Where are we gonna put? Let's just let's throw an image in down here, just for shits and giggles here. We'll come into here with the new asset library. We'll throw in one of these, okay? Bam, drag and drop, squashed. Oh, I don't like that. Let's compress that bitch a little bit. Balance 1.1, 233. Yeah, go ahead and compress that. There it is, nice and compressed. Okay, put it in there, save. Now let's go back to the front end and refresh. There's our image. Let's drop an edit in here. Let's come down. Bam. Now I can select a different image. Now right now it's still doing the WordPress media library thing, but very soon it will be doing the Etch Asset Manager thing. Okay. But you could theoretically swap. Can I upload files here? Why, yes, I can. Okay. Let's put in, there's the collections image that I was working on the other day. So I can swap it. Look at that on the front end. Seamless. Okay. You might be thinking to yourself, okay, but Kevin, what about components? What about components? What is this thing? Signal panel? The fuck? Signal panel, orbit visual stage. Okay, make this thing a component. Convert to component. Okay, let's add a prop. Let's add a couple props. Let's go text. All right, we'll call this one eyebrow. We'll call this one value. Let's call this one description. Call this one angled text. Okay. I'm not worried about it right now. Let's map this to there. 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 Let's save. Let's go to the front end. And there we have that should be a component. It identifies it as a component. And okay, that might be a bug. What it would normally do is pull up a panel that looks just like that component sidebar panel in Etch and allow you to fill out all the fields and manipulate the values of this component in real time. Let me just make sure. I mean, it identified it as a component. Let me exit. Let me save the page, give it one more shot, refresh a couple times, come here. Oh, there we go. So there you go, signal strength. Okay, another eyebrow, 49, and a new description, and Yeah, my cool message here, okay, goes here. Save. Apply edits. And now we're editing components. We're editing components too. Yeah, so you can just straight up go straight to the front end and just start doing stuff in real time. You're probably gonna be able to do some basic drag and drop repositioning of stuff potentially. The goal here is for safe client content editing too. It's not for let them go make everything pink and fucking, you know, change font size. That's not the goal. The goal is safe, simple, easy, just client editing interface, you know? Directly on the front end, nothing to confuse anybody. No client's gonna get confused. Click the pencil. Shit's just easy. Shit's just easy. Go do your thing, okay? Don't go crazy, but do your thing, all right? And yeah. Right? By the way, this is not just for Etch. This will work on any block site, okay? And it's also gonna be available in Etch Studio. Guys, it's coming. Stay with us. I'm telling you, the game is changing. And we are the only ones keeping up. But that's what a lot of people asked about client editing on Etch Studio. They were real worried. They were like, what about client editing on Etch Studio? You know, there's no block editor. Well, it's gonna look just like this. It's gonna be smooth, it's gonna be sleek, it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be great. All right, that's it. I gotta go out on that. You gotta go out on that. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. What a long stream.